Hi everyone, it's Giselle with a message for today, and I wanted to talk about how setting boundaries and sticking to your truth and actually knowing what your truth is will help to move you forward. And what I want to start with is first and foremost, this journey is about you, your self-worth, and self-love. And what does somebody who struggles with self-worth and self-love tend to do? They tend to say yes when they really should be saying no. They don't want to assert themselves in ways that could, to them, jeopardize the connection. And more often than not, they don't set any boundaries. In fact, they're willing to bend over backwards and pretty much do anything or whatever it takes to get things to work. Well, that's actually not going to work. And I'm telling you this from experience, not just with my personal twin flame connection, but with people in my life in general. You know, people I've had relationships with, friendships, even family. When you don't set your boundaries, when you don't assert yourself, when you don't hold strong to your beliefs, so you don't even know what your beliefs are, you're not energetically moving things forward. People often come to me and wonder, why am I constantly experiencing the same thing with different people? But if you have a look at your patterns and what's been going on energetically, it pretty much follows the same stories. It's where you don't feel you can assert yourself. You don't feel you can truly be yourself. You think, gosh, they're going to think I'm a total nutcase or a weirdo if I do this. But really, that's not the case, because energetically, you standing your ground and asserting yourself and setting your boundaries and sticking to your beliefs is actually admirable. And you don't even have to speak it out loud sometimes. Sometimes you can just energetically do it, energetically say, do you know what? This isn't working for me. I need more. I deserve everything, and this is not good enough. Sometimes it helps to tell them. But in any case, whether that's verbal or energetic, you have to stick to the energetic part of it. You can't just say out loud, oh, by the way, this isn't good enough for me, but then energetically still hope and pray and go, oh God, I would do anything to be with you, and I would just give anything to make this work. No, you have to be in harmony. You have to stand and stay strong within yourself energetically, and vice versa. You can't set an energetic boundary and then, still go along with the same old verbal ways of doing things, saying yes when you mean no, and, bending over backwards. It has to align. You have to align what you're saying with your energy, but your energy has to be consistent first and foremost. You can't go one day to the next and constantly swing between, no, I deserve the best, to, oh God, I would do anything for this person. You can't do that. And the reason why a lot of people tend to say yes when they have to say no, or tend to try to bend over backwards for this person, is because they are afraid that setting their boundaries and asserting themselves will cause them to lose the other person. You have to get out of your head the fear of losing the person. You have to get yourself into such a state that, lose them or not lose them, you're not going to budge because you deserve the best. It shouldn't even matter. It shouldn't even be a thought at all whether you lose them or not as a result of this. If you lose them, oh well, you know what? You deserve better, so you're going to get better. But what happens in majority of cases is that they, after a little bit of time of mulling things over and realizing, do you know what, this person's too precious to lose, they do change their tune and they do accommodate to your needs. And then the dynamic changes and moves forward. But you can't expect change to happen if you're not even making the changes within yourself and asserting yourselves and setting your boundaries. You can't expect them to change if you're not willing to take that risk of changing yourself. And I also want to stress the fact that saying no is important. When it needs to be said, do not be afraid to say it. Because when you're saying yes, when in fact you should be saying no, you are energetically depleting yourself. You are giving, not receiving back, and it energetically just drains you and leaves you in a quite low vibration. So, for your own sake, don't ever give your power away in that way of, just going along with everything. It doesn't make you more attractive. It doesn't make you more admirable. It doesn't make you more lovable. It just makes you look afraid and weak. And it doesn't serve you, because eventually you're going to start to feel resentful. And if you want your connection to last, you can't have all of this resentment. So it is actually vital to stand your ground. Say no when you need to. If there's certain things that you don't want to put up with, and I've made this mistake myself, I often in past relationships kind of bent how far I was willing to go with certain things, whether that's living situations, even dietary, food requirements, stupid things like that, just to appease the other person and for them to like me more or find me more desirable. I mean, that's absolutely ludicrous, really. If you want someone to love you for who you are, you're going to have to not be afraid to show them who you are, and not just show them and hope that they'll accept you, but expect them to accept you. Otherwise, it's just not good enough. And setting these boundaries is really going to help to not fall back into the old patterns repeating all the time. It is truly going to propel things forward in your connection. You'll see. But first, you must be clear on what it is you're wanting, and energetically and verbally line up. And even if you don't speak to them and tell them these things, energetically don't waver. Stand strong and stick to your guns, and just, allow them to come to you. I hope this helped. If you would like to connect with me, all of my details are in the description. I've got a few promotions going on this month. I'm doing 25% off a 4-package bundle, and I have 10, 30 and 60 question bundle discounts as well. I'll put everything in the description, and they're on my community page as well. I thank you all so very much for watching. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.